What's up everybody? So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Walmart exclusive Count Dooku from the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. So I recently did a channel member only poll with this figure and 3 other ones to determine the order in which I review the next 4 figures, and Count Dooku came in first place with 50% of the vote. So here we are. And of course, Dooku comes on this beautiful retro style card back. Through this bubble, you can see the figure. He comes with his lightsaber as well as the swoosh blade effect. You have that picture there, Count Dooku and Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. And that's what the back of the card looks like. You've got a picture of the figure. You have a short blurb that they wrote to commemorate the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. And then you have all this small print down there. And this little blurb says, celebrate the 20th anniversary of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith with figures from the Black Series featuring commemorative packaging. So instead of doing a full review on this one, I think I'm just going to compare it to the 2020 version. I mean, they're practically the same figure, maybe some subtle differences here and there, but I'm going to get this one open and let's take a look at him. All right, so here's the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, Count Dooku out of the bubble, and I can safely say I like the 2020 version much better. The face on this one is not as good, and I think this cape is an absolute joke. This cape is so poorly executed, and it's a real shame being an anniversary figure on a retro card back, and it looks this bad. Just very disappointing. But let's take a look at the face first, and it's just not as good. The skin tone just doesn't look as natural. The eyebrows and the beard and the hair just aren't as detailed. The eyes look a little off. I don't know, there's something about it. The other one is so much better, but this cape, what is this back here? What is that? I'm going to either have to, try to tuck it in somehow or tuck it under his hair, but that's just awful. I mean, what is that supposed to be? And the length of the cape, too. It's just way too long. There. All right, so this is almost to the floor. This is what Count Dooku's cape is supposed to look like. It should stop about right here. It's just way too long. But from the neck down, it's fine. It's just like the other one. And I've always liked the Count Dooku figure, but the head and the cape just really bring this one down. Okay, so let's compare real quick. So I have the 2020 version here on the left and the 20th anniversary of Episode 3 on the right. And as you see, the old face is much better. The skin tone, I think, is more natural. There's more detail in the eyebrows. The beard looks better. I think the hair looks a little better. I mean, it's the same sculpt, but it is amazing what paint can do. I think this one's miles ahead. And in the cape department, this one here on the old one is pretty much spot on as far as length, as well as the collar up here. This one on the new one is way too long, and again, this nonsense going on in the back, I don't know what that is. I think this one's the clear winner. And from the neck down, it's the same figure. The old one's a little shinier. I kind of prefer the new one, not being as shiny. It's more of a matte finish, so that is one plus for this one. Slightly different color on the outfit, the belt, a little bit different color, pants, same, just different color, and the boots are a little bit different color. So overall, I still prefer the old one. And I'll just touch on articulation really quick. So being a figure from 2020, I think the articulation on this figure is actually very good. He does have some excellent butterfly joints. The elbows get way past 90. Swivel here, swivel at the wrist. Got an up and down hinge on the right hand, and the left hand is a side to side, but it's all right. For midsection, it's actually very good, and the legs are actually very good. They go all the way up. They go out very far. They go back just a little bit. Thigh cut for swivel, swivel at the knee. The knees do get a little past 90. Okay, that's pretty good. And then feet down all the way, feet up a decent amount, and then swivel at the ankle. So being a figure from 2020, I think the articulation is very good, and something I just did up here, I took these and sort of stuffed all that material inside. It's better, but it still ain't perfect. And as far as accessories, here's Dooku's lightsaber, and I do like this a lot. It's just like the other one. It's a fantastic sculpt. Got some very nice detail throughout. Got a little red there on the button. Yeah, very cool hilt. And as far as the blade itself, I think it's a nice shade of red. And it does unpeg. And let's see how this looks on his belt real quick. Got a little hole there. That goes in nice and tight. Okay, that looks very good on his belt there. So it's pretty rare that I display any lightsaber wielding character with the hilt on the belt. So here it is in his hand, just up in front of him, and that looks good. And there he is with it pointed straight out. And there he is with the feet kind of far apart, getting ready to slash. I think this looks great. And here's the same pose basically with the swoosh blade on, and I think this looks fantastic. And here's the saber up here getting ready to slash, and boy, from this angle, that face looks weird. Oh, and here real quick, I almost forgot. I just want to compare hilts. So I have the old one on the left and the new one on the right, and I like the old one better. The silver, it just looks so much nicer. The red button, I think, stands out a little more. It may not be as clean, but you can see it. The black peg on the old one, I think, looks a little better. And right in here, this is very messy on the new one. All right, so back to the figure. I don't want to go through a bunch of poses because I've already reviewed this one. You know, this figure is very poseable. But I think for now, I'm just going to leave the new one like this with the swoosh blade on, you know, something different. And this is kind of how I've always had this one. So let's go stick these two fellas back on the shelf and let's see how they look there. All right, so there's Dooku on the shelf, and I think he does look nice. It's a pretty cool pose, and I think the swoosh blade really looks good in this light. But that face, it's just not as clear and crisp as the old one. I mean, especially, you know, right down to the eyebrows. It just looks so much more lifelike. The skin tone's better. It's just really unfortunate. But overall, I'm still happy to have him. You know, it's nice to have a Dooku in the Revenge of the Sith section. And of course, I could always pose him with his head off or his hands off. That'd be hilarious. But for now, I am going to leave him like this, and I think he looks pretty good there. So bottom line, it's Dooku. A great character, and it is a very, very good figure. It's just a shame they took a step backwards with the paint apps on the face and this cape. I still don't know what this cape is. I mean, the length and all this nonsense back here. I think tucking it in helped, but it still looks stupid. It's just really unfortunate. But just like always, I would love to hear from you all, so comment below and let me know what you think of Count Dooku from the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. And if you enjoy videos on Star Wars The Black Series, smack like and subscribe if you're new, and don't forget to turn on notifications. I would certainly appreciate it. And something else that I would love for you to consider, and that is joining the channel. It is the 112th Battalion. It's only 99 cents a month. You'll get sneak peeks to upcoming videos and custom emojis and loyalty badges and even some exclusive members-only content. I would definitely appreciate that. But just like always, thank you all so much for watching. See y'all next time.